Okay, you are recording, Mr. Chair. The floor is yours at 7:01.
All right, 7:01, we'll call it to order and we'll start. I'm going to go around the room one by one for roll call. Chris.
Here.
And Hank, you know where they're calling from, correct?
Yeah,
Yep.
I need to know where you're
Okay.
at.
Yep, thanks, Chris. Gail.
Calling from Huntington Woods.
Jules.
President in Huntington Woods.
Gordon. Gordon, you're on mute.
Here.
There you are. Todd.
Here, Huntington Woods.
Thank you, sir. Blake.
Blake Moore, I'm here, calling from Huntington Woods.
Rick.
Rick Pullman here in Huntington Woods.
And Mike Wright here in Huntington Woods. Did I get everybody? I think so.
Rick, yeah, you did get Rick. Okay.
Yep. Okay, looking for approval of the agenda. Was that attached, Hank?
Yeah, there's only one item on the agenda.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
So
Do we have a second?
Second.
Sorry, who's the second?
Spurl.
Spurl, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Carries. Approval of minutes from January 25th, 2021.
Move to
January
approve.
5th. That should read January. Yeah, January 25th. Got it. Okay.
Gail, move to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Carries. All right, our first item is matter of discussion of the solar energy report and proposed ordinance with environmental committee. Do we have anybody from the environmental committee joining us today, Hank?
We should. I'm not.
You have one member, Kate.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Kate Zenley here from the Environmental Committee.
Aaron Reddish is signing on now.
Oh, there we go. Hi, Aaron. Hi, Kate. Okay, Hank, what do you have for us?
Well, at this point in time, we were supposed to come back with the revised ordinance and proposal for discussion. We were also supposed to come back with some survey results, which you do have. Both of that should be before you. At this point in time, I mean, what we'd be looking for is whatever general discussion you might have, whatever questions you might have, and to set it for a public hearing, where at which point the public will get a better chance to comment on it.
Okay, I guess we will open it up first for public participation, which looks like just Aaron and Kate. Anything before we get started?
You might want to let Aaron represent the EAC and explain, what he's go over just once more for the record.
Okay, sounds good. Aaron, you good with that?
Sure. Just to be clear, have you already seen the survey results?
I think they're attached to the packet, Hank. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling through right now.
Okay. I'll just briefly say that, that's it's pretty overwhelming support. I wish this many people supported me and everything. So, I mean, I think it shows, I think, broad community support of revisions to the ordinance. I had community members reach out to me who were actually in the historic district, and they wanted to know if it would apply to the historic district, and they were in favor of it as well. I guess I'll leave it at that. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks, Aaron. Anybody else from the public wish to speak? I'm going to go around the room with the commission here. Okay, that said, I guess public participation is closed. We will start with Chris.
No, I don't have any questions or comments at this point. The city has spoken to the survey.
Okay, thanks, Chris. Gail.
I don't have any questions. I think we got 300 and what was it, 84
like 300
surveys? 324 surveys completed. not knowing, it could be one per email address or whatever else. We don't know how many households it was, but,
For the record, we did not get the IP address report
okay,
with the data. We were not provided with the data report to back it up.
okay.
Okay, thank you, Gail. Good. Jules?
Yeah, I saw the survey results, and my response to that is that I'm going to go back 7 years to the tree ordinance, and one of our not the brightest moves in my tenure on the city commission, although it was supported by many people who thought it was a terrific idea. The problem is that when the population of the city as a whole found out about it, it wasn't so popular. So I appreciate the fact that there's a survey. I think that to give this thing a fair hearing, there has to be a broader outreach rather than just on an e-blast. And I'm not saying that the sample is not it was inaccurate or skewed or anything like that. I'm not even saying that the number of responses is necessarily bad as surveys go, but having I don't need to get kicked in the head twice with this kind of stuff. And I think that speaking now as the liaison for the city commission, obviously there'd have to be a public hearing. And before there's a public hearing, I would suspect that my colleagues will want a citywide mailing of that survey with the accompanying documents to show what it looks like. So, I mean, that's going to have to happen before the city commission acts on this concept.
Okay, thanks, Jules. Appreciate it. Gordon?
Jules pretty much summed it up for me. Thanks, Jules.
Okay, thank you. Todd?
Todd? Yeah, there you
Thanks. Yep, I just unmuted myself. Yeah, I would have to agree with Jules on this. I mean, it's a good litmus test to see where we're at, but there's a lot of questions I would ask about the survey. And I mean, if it was one of my students bringing this into me for a class, there would be a long list of questions about the validity of the survey and all that good stuff. But like I said, start at the beginning, it's a good litmus test to show support for it. But I would have to go with what sort of the order of what Jules said about public hearing, citywide mailing, and things like that.
Thanks, Todd.
Yep.
Blake?
So I think, I mean, all fair comments. And yeah, it's a small subset of the population, but I also think it's incredibly positive. And I was a little surprised, frankly. I kind of expected some of those results to be much more split down the middle, and it was not. So I think it's a positive. I am excited to see kind of what the next steps look like. So I think I think it's a first step victory for EAC.
Great, thanks, Blake. Rick?
Hank, what would the next steps be? What are our options here?
Typically, to break down what it is, what's happened, and where we go from here is, normally when we get a survey, we're furnished with the IP address results. So it's like a complete survey done by an independent organization. We didn't get that, but we did get the results as a whole. So that takes care of that part of it. So make what you will of the survey. What we can do now is we have to, if we follow Mr. Olsman's suggestions, what we would do is we would have a citywide mailer for that with the questions on it, and also perhaps the date of the meeting if you wanted to include that, if you choose to set it for hearing on the next meeting. When we have the public hearing, at that point in time, the draft can be changed, whatever it is of modifications or whatever it is you want to do can be done. But when we have the public hearing, all the information should be available and all the data should be available, because you're going to either move to make a recommendation to the city commission or to not recommend it to the city commission. That's what would happen. So the next thing that we would do is, if you want to move this forward, would be to set a public hearing.
Okay, and does 1 month from now leave the city enough time to put together a mailer, send it out, and make all that?
The mailer is relatively easy. It's just a matter of creating the document, which has already been somewhat created by the EAC, and then running citywide labels and mailing it out to the city. So that would be, is it doable? Of course it is. I would say that if we're using the letter in the format that what we have, and we can get it to one page, which is what I would love to do, then we have the equipment of, fold it, stuff it, mail it, address it, stamp it, and get it out the door by the weekend. If it's going to be like 3 pages, like what it was when you got it, then that's going to take a longer time.
I think you should set it for hearing in, we're almost to April here. You should set it for hearing in May.
We can, whatever the pleasure.
That's just my own personal, allow a little more time for everything to get done, make sure it gets out and everything like that.
If we did
make that a special meeting or part of this meeting?
Well, I can tell you, I personally would suggest you set a special meeting for it. I mean, if you're gonna have a planning commission meeting where you've got projects to approve and stuff like that, I mean, and you're gonna get a lot of people there on this, probably both pro and con, I would say you should have I would recommend that you have a special meeting.
The only problem with that is, and while I believe me, after being at the tree meeting, I completely understand where you're going with that. But let's not forget, we also have a master plan that we're going to be splitting meetings into the month. So that might make, in essence, 3 meetings for the month of May, which is fine, provided that the planning commission is willing to do that.
Well, you guys decide what you think is right, but I'm just telling you, I would allow time for this, and I would not try to, pack it in with something else.
Rick, anything else to add?
Yes. Hank, has the city's attorney reviewed the proposed ordinance yet?
I'm sure Amy has. Carol reviewed that? Yes.
Okay. All right, that's it.
Thanks, Rick. Yeah, I think I would agree with everybody else. Jules, thanks for kind of summing it up for next steps. The one question I have, while 324 people is a pretty small sample size, that seems like a really high response rate for email blasts that we've done, or relative to email blasts we've done in the past. Hank, do we usually get, is this kind of an average sample size, or is this high, low?
This is very high for what we typically would get on these type of things.
Okay.
Actually, we did a communication survey and there were over 300 responses to that too.
Okay. Aaron, I'm not sure if you're prepared to answer or not, or if we need to kind of go back to the EAC. Is the IP data and the background of this available that you can send us?
I don't know. I just want to, I don't know about that. I do want, I guess I have 2 questions just to confirm about the survey. Amy, did you send the text to the Planning Commission before we sent it out?
The survey text?
The PC reviewed the survey, right, before we sent it out?
Yeah, and I did ask the woman that put together the survey if she had the IP addresses available, and I haven't heard from her yet, so I don't know the answer to that.
Tank, is that something we typically do to validate surveys when they go out?
Sometimes we do. It's basically what it does is the IP address process protects against people saying that are against it or for it from saying no, 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 yes, 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 and somebody hitting it. So if you get an IP address that has 20 hits on it, that that's one person, doing the vote. The only thing that it does is that it takes away any question from, not that this is what happened here, but it takes away any question from somebody who might challenge it. That's all.
Okay. Has anyone?
If we could get those results.
Sorry.
No, if we could get those results from however that survey went out, I would imagine they're available. I assume you used like a third-party company to do this? The EAC did?
No, it was a Google form.
Oh, okay.
Monkey survey.
Survey
It was through
Monkey,
Google.
yeah.
No, it was through
Okay.
Google.
Google.
Has anyone heard opposition to this? I mean, Jules mentioned kind of compared to the tree. I'm wondering, has anyone heard kind of organized opposition to this that would bring kind of hesitancy?
I haven't heard anything organized, but I've definitely heard anecdotal opposition. Not a ton. I've probably heard more support than opposition, but I have heard opposition. I think that if the results are what they say they are, this is great. I think like Blake said, or whoever said that the community has spoken. That's great. But if we're in the pattern of validating these results, I kind of think we owe it to all the results to be validated. That's all.
Wouldn't that be done at a public hearing?
No,
without the background information of the electronic survey results, we can't really, we need to understand if they're accurate.
Yeah, if the survey results are going to be what this all hinges on, then we probably should do it. If the public hearing is what this is all hinging on, then we go and we see who comes to the public hearing and says, that's the other aspect of this too. So, you can pretty much do one of two things. You can either say that the survey is what it is. You can research into the survey further to validate it. Or you can say, look, okay, I'm not convinced, let's do the public hearing. But like Jules has said, you should be prepared for a substantive crowd.
Hank or Amy, was the survey only referenced in your e-blasts, or were there other sources that let people know to go for the survey? Whether it be signage on the city boards, whether it be the city website, what was the avenue?
Facebook, e-blast, and website, all electronic.
Okay.
I saw a email from Ben Fallick that I answered to because he was pushing for it.
Okay, but it's all electronic and not the entire population is electronically driven.
Right.
Yeah, I guess.
When we did the communication survey, we put it out in an e-blast, and I can't remember if we mailed it to people, but we told people that we had hard copies available if anybody wanted to fill it out. A hard copy, they didn't want to do it electronically, and we had a handful of people did that as well.
I mean, I know with COVID, we have limitations. In the past when we've done recreation surveys and things like that, there have been hard copies of them at the library and at City Hall that people could pick up and they could, fill those out. But there was signage throughout the city, about that so that people could go get them, not just complete them online, because, whether they be seniors or they be other people, again, it's an IP address. And when we don't know, in it being an IP address, it could be a 6-year-old voting or a 50-year-old voting. It's just an address.
I wish the commission would have brought this to our attention in the last meeting when the idea was to have a survey.
I don't have a problem with the survey. I just want to make sure that people who complete the survey are a complete group of people that have had an opportunity to do it. And that's why I just asked, was it only the e-blast? I mean, some people don't do Facebook, some people don't get your e-blasts, whatever. I've mentioned to the communication committee that the sign at Val Jones Park is still, lack of any information on it. It has been, I haven't looked at it this week, but it has been for over 3 weeks. And it would have been a perfect place that somebody, and I'd mentioned it to communication, that somebody writes, with solar panel survey underway, please check this site, let people know and get the discussion going so that they can be talking about it.
I'm sorry. I know I'm late here. And I apologize for my tardiness, but what is the issue? I mean, the access was given to everybody through the e-blast. Is that right?
It is, Jill, but typically on these, we get backup data in terms of like an IP report, and this didn't have that. And there's a question now, was it omitted? Is it available? I mean, typically when an e-survey is done, that's part of the package, as I understand it. The fact that it's missing here just is sort of strange. It might be as simple as just asking for it. If not, I guess we have to decide what to do. But my understanding of this is it's not terribly common to have results like this without the backup. Aaron, who was it who kind of organized the survey itself? Is there somebody specifically in the EAC that we should connect with to ask for it, to see if it's available?
I think Amy already reached out to somebody to get the results. So, I mean, if they're available, and Amy asked for them, which she talked to somebody, and I pardon me for not remembering who, but she spoke with somebody and did ask for the results and just has not heard back. So this may be a non-issue, other than I can't tell you today. That's the only thing. So if you wanted to, what you could do is you could set it like Jules suggests for public hearing in May. That'll give time for A, to get the mailing out to everybody in the city, B, to see if there are IP results that exist, and if so, to coordinate those, and then C, to see if there's anything else or any other questions anybody has. That gives us a 60-day window to do this. I will tell you that right now I've had one application for rooftop solar in the last 5 years, so I'm not thinking we're going to be holding anybody up by doing this. So that's kind of the thing. So I mean, if it's a question of doing it or doing it the right way, because ultimately solar power may be the complete future. That maybe every roof has got one. I don't know. But as of now, that's the track record. I've had one, I think, in the last 5 years. So to rush this through when we can take another, like Jules says, in May, and get it done right and have all the questions answered, that may be something you want to consider.
But yeah, I mean, like Jules said, we're bumped up against April now. So I mean, it seems to me we'd be looking for the potential of a motion to hold a public hearing in May, pending the results of the validation of the electronic survey and pending the results of a mailed out survey. Does that sound somewhat accurate?
Yeah, I can tell you that May 8th, or that, hold on just a second here, that May 10th would be Zoning Board of Appeals. May 24th would be our normal meeting. April 19th will be what's anticipated as the Planning Commission kickoff. So, which you guys will be getting separate notifications of. So we can have it another day in May, as long as it doesn't coincide. The beauty of Zoom meetings is you can have more than one meeting go on at once. It's just if one person has to be at two. So we could potentially do that.
Yeah.
Huh?
I hear. Go ahead, Amy. Sorry.
I say we can't do two meetings at the same time.
No, but you can do one at 7 and one at. Our account doesn't let us do two at the same time. Okay.
No.
All right. So I guess we have to pick a day that nobody else has a meeting.
Well, I hear what Jules is saying as far as overwhelming the agenda, but given that we are juggling the master plan now, and given the fact that Hank has seen, one of these in 5 years, I just can't imagine a march on the city hall like we saw for the tigers or the trees on this. I would lean towards adding it to a regular commission meeting. If
you would like to do that, then what we can do is we can try for the regular May commission meeting, if that's what the pleasure is of that, of the planning commission. And we can add it to that. And if as it starts to get, or we start to get near and I all of a sudden get 5 site plans, and we can make alternative plans.
That's, if we have that option, that'd be great. You know, if we could then bump the solar discussion to a separate meeting, if we do get overwhelmed with site plans, I think that's
Yeah,
maybe the best.
we
option.
do. I mean, I'm looking at it like this, and Mike, your point tonight is that, look, okay, so we have this has been continuing, this has been ongoing, and we have who we have here. I don't have 50 people here tonight. So your idea about doing it on the regular meeting, we could certainly be open to that and see if it looks like that's going to work for us or not, if that's the pleasure of the planning commission. So we would be looking at the regular May planning commission, and I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I'm going to go with it's the 24th, or is that,
Correct.
yeah.
I guess in that case, we're looking for anyone that would be interested in making a motion to do so.
I'll make the motion
Okay.
to defer this discussion to the May 24th meeting. Is that correct?
Well, I think we'd be looking to set public hearing for the 24th. If we're going to kick it out that far, we should have the public hearing.
Second.
If that's okay with Gordon,
That's fine with me.
then
And do we need to add anything, Hank, in there about just waiting for the results of a mail-in survey and the validation?
well, it'll be there, or at the public hearing, we'll have what we have. I mean, the
Okay.
data that we have, we'll certainly supply you with. So that's,
So we'll send out a mailed out survey.
we will send out a mailed out survey if that's what we're directed to do by the planning commission.
So does that have to be in the motion, I guess is my question?
No, it's,
Okay.
it's what was discussed here. That was the consensus of the planning commission. That's the direction that both Amy and I would take.
Okay, so we're just voting on if we're setting a public hearing for the next planning commission meeting in May 24th.
For the May 24th planning commission meeting, for the
Okay.
purpose of public hearing for the solar ordinance.
All right, so Gordon made the motion. I think Gail seconded,
Jules,
right? Jules seconded. Okay, we'll go around. Chris,
Aye.
Gail,
Aye.
Jules,
Aye.
Todd,
Aye.
Blake,
Aye.
Rick,
Aye.
Jill,
Aye.
and I. Sounds good. So yeah, I think we would, unless anybody opposes, we would ask for a mailed survey to go out as well.
okay. That would be the only item on the agenda for this evening. I have no communications, Mr. Chair. Except for the master plan update, which I kind of alluded to. We're looking at April 19th for a kickoff date. So everybody will be receiving notice on that. At that point in time, that's kind of the meeting that says, this is where we are, this is what we're going to do, this is our timeline, that type of thing, so that you get an idea of what it is that we're looking to do and when we're looking to do it. At that point in time, we'll be setting up perhaps regular monthly meetings specifically for the planning commission. We found in the past that works significantly better to do, just simply because it allows you to be dedicated to that and that it doesn't conflict with site plans at all. The master plan is actually kind of interesting because that's actually what we're supposed to be doing as a planning commission. So we'll take a look at that. April 19th is the date that we have. There'll be communications coming to you via email. You'll also get written communications. I will be in communication with MKSK actually this week to see where we're at on some communications and our plans and to get them some information that they needed from me. And then we should have information for you. Agendas will go out again on Friday. Agendas always go out Friday. So the Friday before the meeting, you can anticipate an agenda for that meeting, and it will be a Zoom meeting.
And that's in addition to our April 26th.
That is correct.
Meeting, which is the following week.
That is correct. And should nothing come up for April 26th, we'll cancel that.
Okay. And so
You-
far you don't have anything
April
for that.
26th?
Okay.
Hank,
Pardon me?
you have anything for April 26th today?
It'll be real close.
Okay,
I could have 3 and I could have none.
yeah, those
So
are good
that's-
odds, okay.
That's where we're at right now.
Okay. All right, we'll open it up for general public participation. And hearing none, we'll close public participation. We're looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion
A
to
motion
adjourn.
to adjourn.
You
Okay,
can
could
have a
we
time.
identify, Gail, you motioned, it was your motion?
Gail's motion, Gordon second. How about that?
Okay, Thank you.
Chris? Chris?
Aye.
Jules?
Aye.
Todd?
Aye.
Blake?
Motion to adjourn.
Rick?
Aye.
Jill?
Aye.
Gordon?
Aye.
And I. All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next month.
thank you
Thank
very
you very
much.
much.
Bye-bye. Thanks.